Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Left to Center, your favorite podcast. We are twice a week.
So we say.
We are twice a week. We're very highly caffeinated, and I'm a Pisces.
Nice shirt.
That's a very nice intro.
Thank you, John.
It's a real nice shirt. Let me get a look at that.
Steely freaking Dan, baby.
This is one of our
classic.
favorites.
Yeah, it's got Hammond on the back of it, by the way. It's
really?
Yeah, man. That was,
Hammond. When did they come to Hammond? They didn't come to Hammond.
Yeah.
Indiana?
They came to Hammond. No. Hammond, Louisiana. What the hell do you think I'm talking about?
It's rhetorical.
Hammond, Oregon.
Hammond, Oregon.
There is a Hammond, Louisiana. No,
there is.
Yeah, I often talk about Hammond, Louisiana, just to keep people thoroughly confused. Yeah, they came to Hammond, Louisiana, and I wear a shirt.
I thought
They
did
came
I go
to
to
our
that show with you?
Yeah.
I guess
Shit for brains. You were with me.
Kind of forgot.
So was your wife. It was a nice event.
They
I
played
paid
at
a
the
lot
venue.
of money.
I mean, they played in
was
they
a
played in
fundraiser.
Maryville.
It was a fundraiser, remember?
Oh yeah.
Skybox.
Yes.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Kevin, what's going on up there, man?
Dude,
I don't
what the
know.
hell?
Too much stuff in my
How
head.
could you forget that show?
I mean, this is the
It
guy
was
that
a great
represents
show.
me, John. Like he's supposed to like.
I'm losing it.
I know, dude. I'm like a little worried.
I kind of forgot about that show, but I remember now.
I kind of forgot
Thank
about
you.
that show, huh?
But I didn't get a
It was
shirt. I didn't
nice
get a
event.
shirt.
It was a committee to
It was a
elect.
very nice event.
It was Atomic Dermot.
Now I
fundraiser.
don't worry, it's coming back to me now.
Yeah. I
Is
hope
it
so.
coming back?
I love.
I
Steely
played
Dan.
Hey 19 as I was leaving True yesterday. I was jamming
Oh, did
on
you?
Hey 19. I
Nice.
love that song.
Did you start punching the windows?
Did
and stuff
not.
like that?
I did not. I didn't get all riled up like I usually do with Steely Dan.
Did you realize, Jill, that Kevin Smith is one of the few Americans that when he listens to Steely Dan becomes dangerously violent?
That just happened one time.
Kevin
at a
feels
show.
like he's got a lot of white man rage inside.
There was
of
no,
him.
I
Dude,
don't.
you'll see it bust out when you play a little Steely Dan.
I heard about this story.
We've told that on this pod before.
And I can't. And Kevin's like punching walls,
No.
like ah.
There was
like the Incredible
There
Hulk.
was a dude in front of me in a sweater that was like shushing us.
I
And
know.
I didn't take kindly to that.
You did not.
I was like, this
I was
isn't
like-
like this
Steely
isn't an
Dan.
effing symphony. I mean, it's Steely Dan. I mean,
It's
and he like
but,
wouldn't
like,
stop.
You know what I'm saying?
He was shushing us.
Everybody at a Steely Dan concert is drinking wine and getting high, and Kevin's like raging.
I was
Like a-
I was
like his
defending
voice.
I was
One-man
defending
mosh
our
pit.
I was defending us
One
having
man
fun at
mosh pit.
at a concert.
Yeah, you were getting.
Did you?
not-
You actually punched him?
No, I did not.
It was getting a little. It was getting a little heated.
He stood up and turned around, and I was standing up, and like he had a sweater
They
on.
were
I mean,
talking-
come on,
he
a
did
guy in
have
a
a-
sweater
You
is not
can't
gonna
take that from a guy in a sweater.
exactly. And so,
And I'm like,
Tom's like, Kevin, calm down.
I'm like, and we walk out. I'm like, dude,
I was
we're
like,
at a
go-
freaking Steely Dan concert. You're getting in a fight.
I was like, go F yourself. This isn't a symphony. I mean, he's like, shh, shh, shh. I was like, what the? I mean, come on.
Wine makes
Learn
Kevin
to work
rage, man.
No,
the
man.
saxophone.
And there was, there was some other stuff going on. That wasn't at the Hammond show. It was at the Maryville
Drink
show, by the
Scotch
way.
whiskey. Get the fuck out of here! All day long.
And the guy was like, shh.
And die behind the wheel.
I just thought it was a little inappropriate to be shushed.
I don't know why, but it makes total sense for Kevin to get into a fight at a Steely Dan show.
That's the only place I think I can hold my own.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin's
You would
like-
never dare pick a fight at like the Nelly concert.
No.
No.
We need them to play the fest next
Or
year.
like
I
a
need to
Limp
witness
Bizkit.
this.
Kevin would get beat
Biscuit.
down at that, but like,
Oh yeah.
at a Steely Dan concert, he's like at the top
I'm like
5%.
I could take all these old men in sweaters.
Kevin could
I
take 95% of a Steely Dan audience. He knows he's safe there. Nelly, no, ain't
No,
happening.
man. I'm like, hey man, whatever you want to do.
It's cool, dude.
Yeah, I'm all right. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry, I was talking.
Yeah, sorry,
All right,
man.
sorry about that.
Sorry, sir.
It's hot in here. it's getting hot in here. I'm being shushed. I'll take it.
Is that Nelly? So take off
Yeah.
all your. It's not Nelly.
No.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Belgium's top-rated podcast. This is Left of Center. Beautiful Tuesday morning. How you guys doing?
I'm all right. I don't feel like it's a Tuesday though.
You guys are gross.
We got a full cast
Wearing
today.
the same clothing that you wore
Hot
last
mustard.
week.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, why didn't you guys change?
We got the whole crew here today. We got Lindsay and Jill.
It's a
here,
special day.
Nice to see you. How's it going, Jill?
Oh, it's good.
Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Happy-
Yay.
You
Yeah?
seem happy.
What's up, Linz? How you doing? Hey, why don't you, Lindsay? First off, you're probably wondering why we're all wearing the same clothes that we wore on Friday. For those of you
curious.
that are observant, it's because we don't bathe. I mean, it's very simple.
What about for those that are just listening?
For those of you that
They
are
wouldn't
listening,
even know.
we got
you,
the same
You
clothes
gave
on.
it away that we have the same
Secrets
clothes
out?
on.
We have the same clothes on Tuesday because no, don't change it. This is a best of version because I'm busy sometimes as mayor, and we're busy as an administration, and we got stuff going today that precluded our podcast from appearing
Our
live.
presence.
So what we did, now don't change this. We
Don't turn us
assembled,
off.
We poured through hundreds of hours of tape, and we basically came up with the best of the best.
Yeah, I mean, the
I
interesting...
did the hard work for you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Volume 2.
The
The
best
volume
of
two.
according to who?
According to me and John Desmar.
According to the locomotive.
We did all the work.
I would say this, though. The interesting thing about this is you remember how much actually funny, good stuff we did.
And some serious.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some serious
Not
stuff,
all
too.
funny.
We have a
but-
lot of shit too, though. I mean,
Yep.
let's be honest. There's a lot of crap that's not worth listening to, and what we did was we filtered that out for you. So like, this is like no reason to turn it, even though we're not here with you. Like we filtered all the bullshit.
We're still with you.
This is going to
Yeah.
be record numbers for this show.
It should be. It's like if you had an ability to drink water with particles in it, you would probably pass up on that. We filtered the particles out. That's
right.
The E. coli that's in a lot of water, we filtered it out.
The
Or iron.
The iron that's in
The
Lake
iron.
Michigan.
Speaking of last week's show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway,
All right, so Linz, do your spiel, and we're going to intro our first clip.
yeah.
Pow.
Okay,
Power
you're
in
listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, you can follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LOCPOD, LOCPOD. If you cannot listen in live, you can always download our episodes from the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio apps. Just search Left of Center Podcast and look for our red and blue logo. Also, don't forget to subscribe and rate on every single one of those applications. And if you would like to have an ad on our episodes, send an email to Steve, STEVE, at LOCPOD, LOCPOD.com.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linz.
You're
Was there any
welcome.
drama about who was going to do that, Jill?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No drama?
Notorious LMP.
No.
Notorious LMP filled in?
No, Dad just said, we're going to do your spiel. And then that was the end of the discussion.
What if they
Okay.
like read it at the same time? I'd like to hear that.
Stereo.
That would have been better. For sure.
I talked
Because we're
too
only
fast.
in mono.
That's right. Quadrophenia.
So, hey, could we introduce the first clip?
Let's go.
It's
Wow,
a
we're
few-
just getting right into it.
Boom.
Yeah, man.
Let's
I mean, what are we
jump
going to
in.
do? Like, I
Clip
got stuff,
number one.
I got stuff to do today, you know? Like, I'm busy.
tired.
I'm busy right now.
I gotta take
I'm
a
already
nap
late.
before
I'm
work.
already late. I'm working right now, and you guys are just chilling, listening to LOCPOD, and I'm busting my butt right now.
You know what was a nice one to relive?
What's that?
When Kevin got COVID.
That was my favorite episode. It was first off, it was a great episode because Kevin wasn't in the studio. Right?
Wow.
Thank
Let's
you.
just be
That's what I
honest.
was
It was
saying.
a huge negative right off the bat, taken off the show, right?
Yes.
And
Rude.
it was funny because we had Phil in here and we were all wearing masks, and which
Well, I
is
don't think it
reliving.
was funny because you were wearing masks.
No, it's like a history lesson.
Yeah, it
Listen
really
back.
is.
Like that was back when we had masks on in the studio.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on video, you'll see like the studio's got like all kinds of like wipes and like everybody's in masks and there's cleaning supplies and it's a
You rock my world, dude. I'm
It
like
was,
sitting like 2 feet from you, and
Yeah.
we kiss and hug constantly. So like when you
Always.
got the vid, I assumed I'm going down.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird time for sure. It was pre-vaccine. Remember this? This
Yeah.
is like November 2020.
Yeah.
So it's like, tell you the truth, I was a bit freaked out about it. And I was trying to kind of put on a pretty good face when you guys were talking to me. But, you know, and when you didn't, back then, I think you didn't know, right? And you still kind of don't know how it's going to grab you. And so I was pretty concerned.
And we were laughing
Truthfully.
about it.
That's okay. I mean, I'm looking back. It was okay to laugh about it. But, I mean, the disease isn't funny. But
No.
I was glad that I made it through, and you guys were definitely looking out for me and wanted me to get better, and I did. So I was
So
happy.
we did like, let's say it was a 20-minute show that day. It
Yep.
was like the first 10 minutes were like serious. Like Kevin's got the vid. This is a serious disease, everybody. You know,
Wear
your
masks.
masks.
Yep.
You know, separate, do all that stuff, right? And then after the first 10 minutes, the tide turned.
Yeah, we do what we do best and,
And then we
make
just
fun
started,
of each other.
Then we just started ripping on Kevin for the whole second. So
That's right.
This best of clip is on the second half of the show when we started ripping on Kevin, which was the best
Enjoy
part
it.
of the show. Let's be
Enjoy
honest.
it.
Yeah, enjoy it. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, and if there's any slight good news, Kevin, I could tell you that when you do come back to the podcast studio, we cleaned every inch of all the equipment and everything else that's in here. So
We focused heavily on your side of the
very
studio.
much so.
I think that's a good call. Good thinking. I'm glad I see you put Phil over there.
Oh yeah, I'm not sitting over there. You crazy?
It was one of the rules if I was going to come in today. By the way, this is the first time. It's a little strange. I'm the mayor's chief of staff. He wouldn't even tell me where the podcast was being, filmed at.
Well,
or-
we always have to blindfold and for the first.
Comfortable there, Phil.
He's pretty comfortable. I can
You
tell.
know, Kevin-
He's adjusting
Like
his
it.
seat and everything.
Hey, Kevin, do you know who Bobby Thompson is?
I don't know who is this Bobby Thompson. Could you explain it to
Let
me?
me tell you, Mayor. Sure. There's this one famous baseball player named Bobby Thompson who played for the Yankees.
Really?
Yeah, he was going to be a great player. I think he might have played second base or whatever. But unfortunately, he got injured. I think he ended up like breaking his ankle or something like that.
I've never heard of Bobby Thompson.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, Mayor, because the guy that took over for him, his name was Hank Aaron.
Oh, I've heard of Hank Aaron, yeah.
And when you first reached out to me and said, hey, Kevin's got COVID, we're going to do this special podcast to talk about COVID a little bit and that sort of thing. Is it bad? Is it like a negative about me that the first thing I thought of is this is my Hank Aaron moment?
I think, Phil, that's just being...
Hank Aaron was never on the Yankees, Phil.
Hank Aaron was on the Braves.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was Babe Ruth, wasn't it?
No, it was Hank Aaron.
You screwed
This
the
is why
story
Phil's
up.
never going to take my spot.
Phil,
Okay.
I foresee a poll coming right now. Stand by,
God.
Kevin.
He was a baseball player. That's
Didn't
all
he
people
score a
need to know.
touchdown?
Nobody knows. You know why nobody remembers what team he was on, Kevin?
Should Phil replace Kevin on LOCPOD? Poll is up,
Not
people.
memorable.
Exactly. Nobody knows who Bobby Thompson is, but I'm sure that won't be the case for you. I mean, we'll see.
But Kevin, you're feeling good?
I already voted hell no, John.
Okay. That was your vote. Should Phil replace Kevin on LOCPOD? The votes are coming in now.
Well, Kevin, we've quarantined you for 2 weeks from the studio, so that was a decision we all reached today. So this is a Bobby Thompson moment for Phil.
If you get removed, Kevin, like completely removed, I promise that I'll ask Mayor to put your pop-up head on the wall here.
We will.
In
Thank you.
remembrance.
Out of respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Kind of like hanging Jordan's
Just keep
jersey
making
or
some bad
something.
picks. I'll be guaranteed to be back.
yeah. I mean, we got to work out this rent issue too. It's going to be awkward with you not on the show and we're actually in your office. It's going to be a little weird, but we can get through
Be
these
careful,
things.
Phil.
Yep, I know, Kevin.
Phil, is
Have
it
Phil
true
pay
you've
it.
started taking, you're going to start studying for the bar as well?
I think it's time. I mean, we had an attorney, we have a corporation counsel, and things aren't going so hot at the moment, so I figured why not step up?
Phil, the guy exposed me to COVID. I had to go get tested. I mean,
Mayor, I'm glad you said that.
I know.
I
I
want to
mean-
make sure you're taking this as serious as I am.
I am.
Okay.
believe me.
How are your
I am.
campaign manager skills, Phil?
Oh, man. I mean, yeah.
My last guy lost. Did you notice that?
I almost made a comment, but I held it in, but I'm glad you said
Well,
it.
that's
Mayor.
why-
You can only go up from here, Phil.
We're just trying to keep your spirits up,
We're not
Kevin, by
laughing.
bringing
We're
you
not
down.
laughing. You got COVID. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. All right, everybody. There you go. This is going to be a little glimpse of what the rest of the show is going to be like. We went through and filtered out about 4 or 5 good clips. That's like Kevin's got the vid. This next clip is interesting. Do you guys remember right after the January 6th insurrection?
It's hard not to remember that day.
We did a show, 2 days later?
Yep.
So the insurrection happens on January 6th.
It was a Wednesday.
Wednesday. And then, obviously Thursday, everybody's dealing with it. Our show is regularly scheduled the very next day. So we come rolling into the studio. And I thought this was an interesting clip just because it's literally like our raw reactions. I mean, it just happened 2 days ago. So, we're still dealing with the emotions of right after the January 6th insurrection.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I really found this a good clip because you're right. It was kind of like, now looking back and a little bit more about it, it was interesting hearing what we thought at that moment.
And by the way,
cool.
you know what else is interesting is we know that, the GOP, initially the GOP came out and condemned everything that happened. And little did we know at the time that, here we are months later. And now the GOP has totally whitewashed the whole thing. Like
it never happened.
It was just like a nice tourist
It was
visit.
tourists.
Yeah, it's a bunch of tourists just nicely visiting the Capitol. And instead of what it was domestic terrorists attacking the Capitol. Now, the right is trying to overlook that
and
act
not
like it
vote
didn't happen.
and not vote for the investigation.
That's right.
That's happened too. So
this is a good clip just because it's raw. It happened right after, and how we felt, and and I think it's interesting because here we are months later, and obviously, what we're hearing now is a lot different than what we were hearing on January 8th. So
do your rewind sound. Back to January 6th.
Here we go. Back to January 6th, everybody.
It's crazy. I mean, the words that come to my mind were shameful and disgraceful and sickening. I mean, it was weird. I had a weird reaction to when I saw these people, I don't know what you want to call them, citizens of the United States, sitting in the Senate's seat, grappling down the Senate chamber, a chamber that we can't walk in. One of the most
Nancy
sacred
Pelosi's
places.
office.
Yeah.
Stealing their mail.
Stealing their mail, ripping the parliamentarians. I mean, breaking windows at the Capitol and hopping in through the windows.
Well, the what you would hear from the right is, that was a peaceful protest.
Well, you know what? And by the way, I have no objection to the rally in the Ellipse. Have at it.
Right.
That's fine. If you and I said what the president said or what Rudy Giuliani said, we'd be sitting in jail right now.
Kevin?
Without a doubt.
They did. The president, I don't know if I listened to the speeches because it was definitely like shouting fire in a theater.
Without a
right?
doubt.
So
Which is
I don't
when
know.
you say that because as a lawyer, what
Yeah,
you mean is
you
you
have-
lose your First Amendment right.
Absolutely. And the president, I looked at him more like he was trying to be like a general of a mob. And I thought it was funny that he was behind bulletproof glass because if
Yeah.
you're so brave, you're so gangster, but like, hey, don't shoot me, even though you guys love me,
That's
right?
right.
But like,
We
and
love
what,
you.
What Rudy Giuliani said was insightful.
Yeah, absolutely.
What Donald Trump Jr. said was insightful.
Absolutely.
They should be arrested.
Well, I hope that the downside for them is that I believe the FBI and the Department of Justice always should work independently of the executive branch. I believe they are, and they should look into it. I don't care if it's the Trump administration,
4 people
DOJ.
died.
4 people died. I mean, it's funny. I was talking to Steve about it yesterday, and Steve's like my law partner, Steve, and he said, obviously I didn't practice much criminal law, but I remember this. What happens when you rob a bank, but your other bank robber gets murdered by the police, gets killed by the police? What is it? It's called felony murder.
Exactly. Or if you're sitting in the car and shooting goes down on the inside, and I'm the getaway driver, I get charged for murder.
That's right.
That's right.
It's called felony murder.
That's
Guess
right.
what? Insurrection
It's so
and
funny to hear
sedition
Steve say that.
is murder.
Because I was saying the
Is a
same
felony.
thing. I was saying the same thing in Gary yesterday.
Were you? Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
It's,
I was
it's
like,
true.
it doesn't matter if you're the driver in the car and you had nothing to do with it. Like Trump was the driver in the car. He told them what to do, and then he went to the White House and sat back in glee.
Yeah.
Didn't call out the National Guard. He wanted Congress to get thrashed. He wanted them to get in there and probably steal the electors' votes. Well,
it's funny. I heard two things I want to say. Number one, it's also a conspiracy. Conspirators can sit at the old at the safe house.
That's right.
And you can still be part of the
you
conspiracy.
could draw up the plans and then go back to the safe
and say,
house.
go rob that bank.
That's right.
But you're sitting at the safe house.
And I'm
Guess
sitting
what?
at the safe house, and then the shooting goes down. I get charged for murder.
You're the
even though I'm in
co-conspirator.
That's right.
We learned that in law school too.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is it was interesting. I was listening to Senator Klobuchar last night, and she said, because they were like, God, Senator Klobuchar, thank you so much for being so brave. And she interrupted. She said, wait a minute. I want you to remember how many staffers were brave. There were staffers in the Senate that grabbed the ballot boxes, which would have been destroyed.
I know.
Think about that.
Yeah, I
destroyed
know.
the ballot
It's
boxes
so
with
sad.
the elector. It's unbelievable.
It's like a banana republic.
I had that in my notes.
This
It's
is
like-
totally. It was totally, seen. We all knew it was going to happen. I mean, this was leading up. I didn't know they were going to storm the Capitol and break things, but you knew some type of violence was going to occur.
When you have countries like Iran, Russia, China, I think John even mentioned yesterday the president of Colombia were saying like what a disaster this was for democracy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We usually say to other countries that election has to stand. It was the people's voice, the vote. That's what people are saying about our election.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's crazy. And the other thing I saw that I was just absolutely disgraced with was people running with the Confederate flag through the U.S. Capitol. Now think about this. That Capitol was being built when the Union was being threatened, right, in the Civil War.
Yep.
And could you imagine all the Union soldiers that died in the Civil War, and these people are bringing the Confederate flag into the U.S. Capitol?
Yeah.
It is a effing
Travesty.
disgrace.
Right. All right, everybody, welcome back. I know that was a little bit more serious than you're used to on LOCPOD, but it is like a glimpse into how we all felt right after the January 6th insurrection, and our show 2 days later. The show always must go on like it is today. But we want to shift tones a little bit here, leave the little serious behind, and start looking into a huge drug conspiracy that I came up with.
Bringing down the drug cartel.
That's right, in an episode called Lobstergram, where I was convinced that Kevin had just received a lobster in the mail from a client of his, which was nice.
Very
and
nice.
I was convinced that was a front for a drug cartel.
Who would think that?
Me.
I know.
That's right.
Did you ever cook that lobster?
I did. I did not find any cocaine in it.
No?
Was it good?
No. I mean, I didn't look
It
either.
was removed by the time it got to you, buddy. That's part of the deal.
Like there's a drug
They're
mule
not
that
giving
comes
you the
in.
cocaine. You're the sucker that eats the lobster. Everybody else gets the cocaine.
So there's like a middleman.
Yeah.
There were hands in that
Obviously.
lobster.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, dude. They
Cartel
touched your-
hands.
Cartel hands all
I did
over.
find some like small plastic baggies that were left. I mean, I just kind of threw those away.
Was it good?
Delicious.
Nice.
Thank you for the gift.
Mail order lobster.
Yeah.
Did you single-handedly bust a drug ring with this podcast?
Did I? I don't know. I may have.
Maybe.
You should. Yeah.
Someone's like, God damn those
Yeah,
lock potters.
they got us. They got us.
No, I can't do this.
Yeah, there's a couple fronts. One of them is See's Candy also. That's the other one.
Oh.
Have you ever see a car in a
In
See's
mattress
Candy?
stores.
Mattress
Ooh,
store.
yeah.
But like seriously, think about See's Candy and where they're located. They're like the best location
Right off
everywhere.
of the highway
Right?
every time.
And then you go by
Interesting.
and there's not one car in the parking lot.
Interesting.
They're
That
cooking
and
meth
Fannie
in the
Mae.
back of. They're like, you're here for chocolate, sucker. Everybody else that's there is buying kilos of Coke. I guarantee you.
In the back.
That's
I
why
can't-
their turtles, the chocolate turtles, are so good.
Oh,
It's 'cause
those are
it's just
delicious.
Yeah, right.
cocaine.
I can't wait for this episode of Law and Order.
On Law and Order. Yeah, right. The great lobster caper. So anyway, we're gonna give you a little snapback in time to when Kevin received a lobster as a gift. We called that one Lobstergram. Let's go ahead and listen to it, John.
Christmas time is approaching, and you always get. I know you get a bunch of gifts at the office. Yesterday, I got a lobstergram. Now,
Whoa.
yeah, thank you. For
Was
that
it
gift.
alive?
It
I've
was
never
just
had
it was
lobstergram.
lobster tails, right? I'd never have received one either. But what I found out is that Lobstergram can ship live lobsters.
Really?
Now, the question I have, maybe John, if you got a live lobster, well, I should ask everybody here. If you got a live lobster in the mail, are you going to be able to boil the water and throw it in to
I
have
don't
your
know that I
lobster
trust
dinner?
it. I don't know.
I don't think I could do that.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I
okay,
could.
lobster,
I'd eat that.
here you
son.
go.
That thing would be dead in 15 minutes. once it
I
hit
would
me.
try, but
Within
I think
15 minutes of hitting my doorstep.
Brian,
Open that Lobstergram up.
I already have the
boil
water
a pot of
boiling.
water.
Patrick,
When the-
boil the water.
When the mail lady comes up, I already have the water boiling.
I've always said that about
I
Tom.
was
He's
looking for
always
you.
got water boiling.
I'm always ready. You never know when somebody's
you
gonna
never know when
drop
someone's going to drop a live lobster off.
Dude, and when they do, I will be ready.
Patrick, is the water boiling?
Patrick's like, why do we always have water boiling?
Wait,
Waiting
it
for a
was
lobster gram.
tails. It was not a.
I got lobster tails, so they were frozen. But
That is crazy.
kudos to the lawyers.
Are they good?
I haven't cooked them yet. I just got them yesterday. I was
gave
with
them
you
to you?
all night. Just a client.
Really?
Yeah, it
Wow,
was
you must
nice.
have done
What the
something
hell?
Wow,
for that
none
client.
of Dad's
Hey,
clients.
we do
sent
good
up
things
like
here
that.
at Smith Sursick.
My clients always sued me. That's
Well, I
yeah,
hope
Wow.
they did. No, but I mean,
This is a satire. This is satire I'm doing right here.
I didn't even realize. Kudos to the lawyers at Lobstergram, by the way, for somehow getting the U.S. government to allow them to ship live lobsters. And if anyone out there's had one, tell me, because I
That's
was
probably like an ingenious way that they ship cocaine around the country.
in Lobstergrams.
Yeah, they shove like a bag of cocaine inside the lobster crevice.
Lobstergrams are really a fence.
Nobody,
a
like-
fence for like a Colombian kingpin.
Where did
Totally.
you get this from?
Because check it out. So
We're
like
talking about lobsters, and now we're talking about the cartel.
if
I don't
you're
understand.
working for customs and you're looking for cocaine and there's a huge shipment of like lobsters with the little like and they're alive and they
Sure.
could pinch you, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, lobsters, let's just move on, right? Little did they know that we shoved cocaine in the lobster's crevices.
Dad, they're able to find cigarettes and logs that have been hollowed out. I'm sure they can find cocaine in lobsters.
Nobody wants to grab a live lobster, Lindsay.
I would grab a
This
live
is just a natural
lobster.
instinct.
If a
You look
lob-
at it and you're like, nope, I'm done with that.
But if the lobster is alive, theoretically, it could ingest the cocaine.
Well, it doesn't matter if the lobster dies of cocaine overdose. By the way,
By the way,
By the
that
way-
would be a hell of a dinner.
hell yeah, man.
That would be a hell of a dinner.
Everybody'd be like slicing up
Oh.
really small slices of the lobster because you could overdose if you take too much.
Make it
at
look
once.
like a line.
That's right. A line
Line
of
of
I'm
lobster.
definitely not cooking that lobster.
Give me another one.
now.
Give me another line of that lobster that you boiled.
I-
Tell me again why people listen to this show.
Constantly.
We don't know.
Constantly
I don't know.
shocked at
To
the
the
things my
91
dad
people
comes up
listening
with.
live, I don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. Like, you obviously don't got a lot going on there.
What is
They're
it?
here
Let's
for
be honest.
Vesmar.
It's 50-50. This gets renewed for a second season. Let's be
It's
honest.
up, it's up in the. We're going to discuss it over the holidays.
I've never even heard of a podcast getting canceled, but I think we're on the short list. It's impossible to cancel a podcast.
It'd be really nice to like sleep in on Tuesdays and Fridays, though.
No way,
Really?
Lynn.
Oh my
we
God.
like getting you up.
I'm up at 6 a.m. I'll be calling you every
I'm
day.
up at 5 a.m. So
Yeah.
A couple sponsors, and we have so much to talk about. We got.
I appreciate our sponsors. You know, they keep this podcast chugging along, you know? Like Ron Prestomer Insurance Agency, you keep us chugging, Ron, and we appreciate it.
are you
you,
implying
Ron.
that our sponsors are the locomotive?
They
of
are
Lift Up
they are
Center?
the fuel
They're the coal.
powering the locomotive.
Mm-hmm.
AKA
Good analogy.
Tom McDermott.
I appreciate our chat. Look at our chat. It's so active this morning.
We're active on chat.
Kelly Marie. This is why people listen to us. Kelly Marie just quoted Tom.
What's that?
Little do they know we shoved cocaine in all the lobsters' crevices.
That's
And then
right.
she said that
That's
should
right.
be your next campaign
By the way,
headline.
this is a perfect show. Like if you're watching like The Wire or some great show like that, this is a perfect episode. It's the cocaine caper, the cocaine lobster caper.
The lobster and the cocaine.
tell me that's not ingenious.
By the way, if you
that
own a
works, 'cause
business,
people eat it. I mean,
give us money.
It's inside of a baggie, obviously, and you shove the baggie in the lobster's crevice, right?
Can you
your
repeat
brain
that
sometimes,
hand
man,
gesture again, please? I need to get that
like-
on video.
It's
Sometimes
hard because the crevices are small, so it has to be smaller bags. You
Well,
can't
it seems like you've thought about this.
I have put a lot of
You're
thought
like,
into it.
Finally, it's my opportunity
This is
to
my
get that,
calling.
that
Yeah.
cocaine I've been
I'm just
hiding.
telling you, this lobstergram is all bullshit. This is a front. You're one of the only people in America that actually got lobster from it. Everybody else is getting
Well,
cocaine.
now I'm going to inspect the bags. I mean, now
Yeah.
I'm going to take a look.
Yeah, you watch. If it's an extra wide crevice on your lobster, you know what was up.
You know, it's Mayor Tom, my political career is over, McDermott, who's now going to be looking for a job at
Yeah.
Lobstergram.
I think they're going to give him one.
Dude,
I think they're going
I'm
to,
gonna
he
go-
knows too much.
I'm gonna go to work for a cartel, and I have all these creative ideas that and I could represent them legally.
There's a bunch of guys in like red lobster suits
Dad, you
waiting
just
outside the
publicly
office.
said you would defend the cartel legally.
I
in
heard
the
those lawyers are paid very well. So there you go. We busted that caper. Nobody ships cocaine and lobsters anymore. We finally resolved that
Thanks to
issue.
you.
Thanks to you.
I know. It was a Law and Order segment, I believe. The Great Lobster Caper. So we're rolling out of that. We did one show. This is another show. What is this one? Coming in hot, right, John?
Coming in hot.
You know, I have a bad habit of listening to the local rag radio station when I'm driving in, and it gets me pissed off a lot of times. And when I come in the studio, I'm on freaking fire. And this was one of those episodes where I just got
really
done.
on fire.
It's because, I was really emotional about something the state did years ago when they tore down one of our bridges and they rebuilt it as a toll bridge.
Yeah, privatize it and let somebody else rebuild it so that we could pay to go over it.
Right. $4 away, right? And, obviously they don't sponsor LOCPOD because we tell the truth about how bad of a deal that was for the region. Well, they sponsored the local radio station, and I was driving into work this day on a Wednesday, and all I heard was how great this bridge was and how awesome it is for everybody that they built this toll bridge.
Thank you for going in my pocket. And
Thank you for charging me to go to work to and from each day.
On a bridge
What
that
a
used to
great
be
deal.
free.
Right. And so basically, this episode, we came in the day before I actually had a power outage and we couldn't do our Tuesday show. So I come in right off the bat complaining we don't have a big audience.
which is your total obsession and like you're just
Every
preoccupied
day.
with that.
He comes in every day and
He-
he's
you
like,
get-
our views are low.
You've gotten
Yeah.
better, but that was a
No, I
preoccupation
still
for a long
complain
time.
about that
You still bitch
constantly.
about it.
I want big audience every day when we're
Why
on
aren't
the
more
air.
people listening to
So
me?
I come in and I'm pissed off because I just heard a propaganda segment about the Cline Avenue Bridge and how great that is for the region. And then I'm like, we got low viewers. What the hell's going on?
Enjoy Tom coming in hot.
So we called that one Coming In Hot. I think you'll enjoy a typical Wednesday morning with Mayor Tom. I don't like it.
Well,
we only have 44 live listeners
just
right now.
relax. We
which
just
is a
got
damn-
on.
It's a damn disgrace.
No, it's not. Are you saying they're listening? Are
Thank
you
you, by
saying
the
they're
way.
disgraceful?
To the 44 people that tuned in.
To you 44 who are listening,
Even that local radio station has more people watching their stupid show than,
just
and they're
relax.
talking about a bridge.
don't compare yourself.
They're talking about a bridge, and they have more
There's no
viewers than we.
comparison.
They're doing a whole show about a bridge.
Well,
Wow. Tell me about this great toll bridge you built that used to be free. Let's talk about how great it is that you built a bridge and you're charging me $4
the
every
state
time I
now
drive.
made you make a. The state said, you know what? We're not going to rebuild it.
Talk about propaganda. What a bunch of bullcrap. You sit there, oh, this is a great deal. You only have to pay $3.50 each time you drive one way on it. Let's have a great radio show about this.
John, look at the mayor. I mean, he's like fired up for a Wednesday.
No, it's just a joke.
By the way,
the numbers
it's
are
like-
going to grow.
But what
they're
you know
we
what I'm
hope.
saying? I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about like
Programming?
They put a crappy show out and they have more viewers right now than we
Hey,
do.
don't-
And we're going to talk about some great stuff.
First, I want to talk about the fact that I had to get your coffee today. I was the coffee.
it
Yeah,
doesn't
yes.
taste nearly
I can't,
as good.
I can't guarantee that that cup was rinsed or that you have my cup or I have your cup.
You
I have
know,
no,
we used to do-
I'm totally confused.
Oh,
Because
geez,
Lindsay's
okay.
gone. Lindsay's
Lindsay's not here, so we're a disaster.
Even Lindsay didn't even want to show up today. She's like, forget this. It's
What
Wednesday.
commitment?
All right, we got more viewers than the other place.
Oh,
does already.
jeez.
Yeah.
Woo, it just took a little bit of complaining.
Let's get
That's why you guys pay me so much as the leader of the.
We called like all our kids, make sure they all sign on to get it up and above.
Yeah, I got 4 computers at my house. All
You're
tuned
like,
in.
why aren't they fired up?
Tune in, damn it! I got low self-esteem.
Well, we are over the hump at 50. Now we're 51 shows.
Thank God for chat. They're monitoring things, and they've corrected us that we now have more viewers.
Wow.
Thank God.
Look at
To
them.
Jibby.
Dude, I'm going from
Thank
now
you,
on.
our chat- to
I'm
our
going
chatter.
off the damn air from now on. Like if we drop less than that other place,
we're not
I'm going
doing
off
that.
the air. We're doing a show about a bridge.
Finally, we figure out when this podcast is going to end. It's that day that
They're doing a show about a bridge, and they had more than we had. A bridge.
It was momentarily.
Let's have a show about a bridge. A toll bridge.
You always complain about the listenership early, and it always grows.
quickly. I expect huge crowds.
First
right
of all,
off the bat.
it's a Wednesday. They're not used to Wednesday.
I don't care. They should be.
But we
They should be
appreciate-
standing by.
We appreciate that.
There was no LOCPOD yesterday. I'm going to tune in tomorrow
Very
for sure.
demanding.
No, I'm not demanding. They're doing a show about a bridge, and they had
What are
more
we doing
viewers.
a show about?
What's
Nothing. We have nothing to talk about, basically.
We are the Seinfeld of podcasts.
That's right.
It's a show about nothing.
It's worked so far. 50 episodes.
50. This is 51.
I agree. We did 50.
Tom,
Thanks for
What
correcting
happens
me.
after 50?
I don't know. You know what? Erectile dysfunction, stuff like that. You know, flabby
It's
gut.
downhill.
Flabby gut. It's all downhill. Like, dude, we gave them our best 50. If you're not married by 50, it's freaking all downhill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Think about that, ladies.
If you're
Catch
not
them before they're
married by
50. Yeah. Like, once they hit 50, it's all like
Forget
ED,
it.
you know,
Wow.
flab. Like,
hope
it's
not.
all downhill.
Awfully early for.
I agree.
50 seems young, right? Isn't 50 the new 30?
50 is the new. I'm going with that, John. 50 is the new 30.
Think
If
about
only
that,
Lindsay
John.
was here to hear about
Think about that, John.
her
It's all
dad talk
downhill.
about ED.
She's
Lindsay's like,
she
thank
turned on.
God I'm not here.
We dropped a dead. We dropped one viewer. It's
It
Lindsay.
was Lindsay.
Let's go back to this bridge thing, because Tom, this is bothering you. What is it,
It
about
is
the
bothering
bridge
me.
that they're talking about?
Because
What-
it's freaking propaganda. Like, we got screwed.
they're pro bridge.
They're pro bridge.
the
Like, it's
region-
such a great deal. It's so invigorating
I'm
to have
glad
this
it's-
bridge built.
I'm
Oh,
glad it's
God.
It's a
open.
toll bridge.
I'm glad it's open, but I'm totally pissed about how it went
For
down.
those of you that aren't aware of what we're talking about, we're like where we live in Northwest Indiana, we're like the redheaded stepchild of Indiana. And we vote Democrat in a Republican state. So every time they could stick it to us, they do. And a perfect example is when they built this bridge we call the Cline Avenue Bridge, which was always free. And it
Always
failed.
free.
It failed about a decade ago. And
Connected the steel mills to Chicago
yeah,
and to the
it was a
interstate.
shortcut to Chicago. It was used by 30,000 cars a day. And when this bridge failed 10 years ago, Mitch Daniels, who was governor, he is president of Purdue University now. He's a big Republican governor. Talked about running for president. He was actually a
the
good
blade
governor.
under
The Blade. I think he was a good governor. He was a good leader, actually. I don't agree with everything he did, but
Fair enough.
one of the things he did that screwed us because we vote the wrong way up here, according to him, is fuck that bridge. You know, we're shutting it down and we're not rebuilding it. So for 10 years, we had a bridge that carried 30,000 semi-trucks and cars a day, and then there was no place for them to go. So they went into my city, they went into East Chicago, they went to Whiting, like semis driving down residential streets because the bridge that connected them to Chicago is gone.
And the
No.
governor said, no, we're not going to do it.
Screw you.
Yeah, even though we have $2 billion in the bank and we're going to build the bridge for free over the Ohio River, we're not going to do the one up
With
by
your
here.
money.
Right?
Yeah, we built a bridge already. It happens to be in southern Indiana, connecting Louisville to Indiana. But so what they did after 10 years of no bridge and just pounding our local infrastructure with semis and traffic that should be on that bridge, the state was so kind to us that they built a toll bridge.
They said, you know what? Just build a
Thank
toll
you.
bridge up there.
Thank you, state, for loving us so much that I get to pay
$5
$4
or
each
whatever
time
it is.
I drive a half a trip. I get to drive $5. Thank you so much, Indiana, for loving us so much. Let's do a damn radio show on it. Let's talk about what a great deal we're getting in Northwest Indiana with this toll bridge. That's a good idea for a show. And they
I am
start off
get-
with more listeners. So, yeah, I'm coming in hot.
Man, you are.
I'm coming in
I
hot.
thought it was going to be a nice, hey, we're here. It's 51. It's a Wednesday.
Coming in hot.
It's hump day. It's Ash Wednesday.
That's the name of the show today, John.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. We have 81 right now.
God, are you okay now?
Thank God.
Keep going, because I think it's helping viewership.
Keep yelling.
Thank God.
Keep that coffee
I
going.
just can't understand. Like, if you're going to do a show, you're like, what am I going to do a show about today? I'm going to do a show about a bridge, a toll bridge, actually.
Which is a tax on the working class.
And we'll tell everybody what a great deal you're getting because we
Yeah,
built a toll
absolutely.
bridge for you.
We
We
love
love
this
you.
new
These
tax.
aren't like wealthy communities that these are connecting, by the way, right? It's like, here you go. Take your bridge that, the $4 you might have for gas
Yeah, right.
or groceries or for your kids, and every day let's just pay it.
Yeah.
every day. What
Right.
is it? Is it?
I think it's like
$4.
$2.50 each
It's
way.
$3.50.
Or
It's $3.50.
$3.50.
Okay. They're like, what a great deal. You're getting it for $1 now. Oh, thank you for screwing us only for 1 month.
Well, they want you to get used to it.
yeah.
and then
and then we'll
for
stick
free.
it to you.
It was
You
free.
Stick it where it counts.
Yeah, obviously, it's, to me, I'm happy the bridge is back. It's just getting there was just a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah,
It took
no, it was-
forever.
it
it's
was
an absolute
stupid.
joke. I mean, the
was
fact that the
stupid.
government made the the bridge be built as a toll bridge. It's a joke.
It's if I run for governor, okay? The
Preview.
If I run for governor,
whoa.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say Northwest Indiana. I'm going to take that bridge and
buy them out.
I'm going to take it by eminent domain. If the first day I become governor, I'm going to take that bridge by eminent domain.
It's expensive.
I don't care. And I'm going to make it a freeway. It's expensive for Indiana. It's money that should have been spent anyway. And I'm going to make it a freeway. That's my first plank when I run for governor.
Man, John, write this down. We have a plank.
I am. I'm going to take that bridge on day one. I'm coming in like freaking...
It's coming in hot.
Like Mayor Daley to
Governor, he's
Meadsfield.
going to be as governor.
I'm coming in hot. And I'm taking that damn bridge, and I'm wiping out all the toll booths. I'm going to take a sledgehammer to the damn toll booths, and I will be cheered and carried out by the residents of Northwest Indiana.
Well, it's the 21st century, so we don't have toll booths. We just have the cameras. You'll just bash the cameras
I will
down.
bash the freaking cameras with a sledgehammer. I will lay off everybody that's taking us and getting a job off of off of our tax money.
Yes.
And I will lay them off.
We'll find other jobs.
I will take that bridge, and people will carry
We'll find
me on
other
their
jobs
shoulders.
for 'em. We won't just throw them to the side.
Isn't that what Biden said? They'll find other jobs.
We'll find other
Keystone
jobs.
Keystone Pipeline.
I like this campaign slogan, coming in
Thank you.
hot.
Coming in
Coming
hot.
in hot and pissed.
Let's think of a theme song. Someone online will give us a good theme song for coming in
That's
hot.
my first plank. When I run, Governor McDermott will take the Cline Avenue Bridge by eminent domain. Mark it freaking down. First day.
Well,
Eminent domain.
it'll resonate up here, but you need another plank for down in Rising
I'll
Sun.
take bridges all over the damn state.
Any of you private bridge
down
owners?
there in southern Indiana, that bridge is too.
What if it's like a ferryman and he just wants to take somebody across the the river?
I'm going to be freaking aggressive as governor. I'm coming in hot. See, we told you this was going to be a great episode, right? Oh, did I scare you?
No, you woke me up.
I did. I know. Well, you were sleeping.
No, I was dozing.
That's not good. That's not good.
It was a good
I
clip.
love
though.
LOCPOD so much. I fall asleep.
I love these
sometimes in the
old
middle.
clips.
It is good clips.
Kevin needs a nap.
We did.
after the-
Vesmar and I did a lot of work for this, Kevin.
Good work,
You
fellas.
guys, the three of you, just chill back and enjoy,
Yeah.
and we're actually like doing stuff for the pod.
So if you don't like these clips, it's Tom and John's fault.
right.
By
the way,
I would have picked other ones.
in this partnership, I'd like to point out that I have the small end of the deal here. You guys, you're like the freaking king poobah of this.
John is.
Jill literally has
controls all.
showed up for this pre-recording and said like 5 words.
Jill, are you there?
So I got called into my day off, so
Oh,
Today's your
my.
day
feels
off.
like I don't need to be
Today's
here.
your day off.
I took a day off.
Jill, say more stuff.
Yeah.
Why?
Say stuff.
It's so funny that she's quiet.
Yeah, right. She's not quiet at work. That's the funny thing.
Doesn't want to be in the camera shot.
Don't invite me to meetings.
Yeah.
No meetings over an hour.
All right. So anyway, this next clip we're gonna do is a clip of right after Leon's triathlon. For those of you that remember, I've done 3 triathlons now, 2 Olympic sized and 1 sprint. And
But that
this
was your first one.
This is my first one. I was super nervous. Obviously, I'd never done a tri before in my life. I'm 52 years old. This was stream of consciousness, basically, right after. So we did the tri on Sunday, and 2 days later, we had LOCPOD. And I walked in the studio, a triathlete.
Yeah, and I thought it was the cool thing about, because we had talked about the tri kind of building up, I thought it was cool that we kind of got to experience a journey with you, and then this is like after you accomplished it, because it was a goal you set for yourself. And I don't think going in, you were sure if you were going to be able to do it.
I was not.
Yeah, and I think
I
since
was
that,
definitely not.
And
I
now
was
I think
super
since that
nervous.
time, like now,
Yeah,
you're
no.
like, I can do it.
Oh, I'm going to do them.
I'm
next
in
year.
it.
I'm going to do them next year.
We have these here in the studio.
Yeah.
We got your Chicago
I mean,
one.
I'm going to do Chicago next year again. I'm going to do Leon's next year again.
Really cool.
I'm going to do Culver next year again. Those 3 for sure.
It's like the birth of a triathlete right
Yeah,
here
you know.
before your very eyes and ears.
I used to be a cycler. Now I'm a triathlete. But anyway, this was the episode. It was right after John did a lot of work because if you remember correctly, John was following me around basically with a camera, following all of us around.
Was he your tracker?
John
He
the
was
tracker.
John was my
John
first
was the
Dan the
tracker.
tracker. John was my first tracker, but he was a friendly tracker, Joe.
We literally
That's nice of
vlogged this, so you could check it out on our YouTube page.
Yeah.
Tom's Triathlon. Kevin, don't sell yourself short though. You did a leg of this too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just cycled. That's not being much. I just cycled, and my wife like passed me up at one point. So
By the way, like lost in translation is how amazing your wife is. She's an amazing athlete.
I think she proved some stuff to herself as well. She's been she that was her first triathlon. So
She proved
it's
it to
all
me.
good. Yeah.
And you know, Kevin's kids are all very athletic, great athletes, and I always wondered how that happened.
This
Now
solved that.
I know.
This solved
Now
that
I know.
question.
It came from Jana, 100% of their athleticism, because I've seen Kevin in action. You know,
I just remember seeing
Not
him
that much of a
after his little bike ride. He did
my
one leg. I thought he was gonna die, and like here, Tom and Jan are doing
I
the
know.
whole thing.
I know.
Kevin's getting rubbed down by fluoride in the middle
With
of a field.
That was part of the vlog.
Candy cane lotion.
Yeah, it felt good. Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, Dr. Mike's in this clip. My brother Aaron's in this clip. Of course, me, Kevin, Jana.
Phil looked worse
Ethan.
than I did.
Ethan's.
He
Phil had
Phil almost died.
he had the hardest
Running.
leg.
Phil's
leg was the hardest.
All he had to do was run.
It was like 100 degrees.
He didn't
at
take
that
it
point.
seriously enough.
Kev, I did all three.
I know.
That was
he
he had the
you
hardest
had it
leg.
harder than he
Listen,
did.
How often do I stick up for Phil?
You look better than Phil did.
Fredo Phil.
For Fredo Phil.
You look better than he did.
Phil's got a new nickname. now,
John
right?
Wright, they took him away. Like the medical staff took him
They
away at the
literally
finish.
ushered him
As soon as
very
he got
quickly.
there.
Yes.
Right. As soon as he got there.
Yeah, but you guys had a bet going, right?
We
lost
they
the
had
bet.
They had a bet going with Dave Lesson's
Yeah,
team.
we lost.
Right.
It was two teams racing against each other. And
So that factors into it because no one was pacing themselves in the 100-degree heat because you were
Dude.
trying to win a stupid.
well,
bet.
if you remember, it was Jill remembers because she was working that event. That was brutal that day.
It was brutally
I
hot.
was sitting in the air conditioning in my office, so I was kind of cool with it.
I
But
tell you what, that was a hot day. And Dave is a marathoner.
Yeah.
And Dave looked like he was going to pass out when he got back.
Mm.
He
Dave
was
was
a
hot,
marathoner.
yeah.
But Phil, when he got back, he was taken to the medical tent immediately.
I think he was so close to death. They were like, we don't want him to die out in the open.
They started doing CPR on him like right off the bat.
Like they put him in a
Phil's like,
tent. They put
"I'm
him in a tent
breathing."
and zipped it up.
They already put him in the body.
Fredo Phil.
He's like, I'm alive, man.
I'm okay. Well, enjoy this last clip. It's Tom actually accomplishing his goal of being a triathlete.
Me accomplishing our goal, and of course making a lot of fun of people in the process. So enjoy the clip.
Butterflies, big time. Yeah. I'm like doubting myself a little bit, but I'll be all right. I do. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I didn't sleep well last night. My stomach was jacked up this morning. I'm just like, and I got a little head cold, which is a pain in the ass.
No aid stations.
What's up? What's up?
Oh,
I'm ready to go, man. I've been training for this my whole life for 2 weeks, and I'm ready.
A little tight. Tight there.
Aaron
Yeah,
is-
just the
Aaron is-
crotchal region.
I'm good. I'm ready to hop on my bike for a little ride. We're here. We're ready.
I'm feeling good, John. Thanks. We're ready to go.
We're humbled, we're honored as we move forward here today, the 77th anniversary of D-Day, to be part of something so special and never ever forgetting the greatest generation. It's emotional, it means so much. Almost every state in the U.S. is well represented with military athletes.
Not at all. All right, so here's the mayor ready to jump in.
All right, gang, keep it moving.
Three race cut.
Keep it moving.
So Chris,
Less than 2 minutes. Come on in.
pause it, Chris. Yeah, so Aaron just showed his finger with a cut on it. So I found out afterwards that Aaron a guy had asked him to zip him up.
Oh, I thought
and he
he-
zipped up this guy and he cut his finger.
Yeah.
I thought he flipped off the camera. I was like, no, that's gutsy.
So all right, so Tom's right there. He's in the water. So let's,
By the way, it was so hot, and then when they told us to jump in the water, because I had my wetsuit totally zipped up, I was pouring sweat.
and so explain the wetsuit real quick. Does it actually? I was curious about this. Does it provide buoyancy or not?
Absolutely,
It does.
I could float without effort.
Interesting. So like you're in the water, it's helping you float.
Yeah.
The water is good temperature,
It
cold,
was
warm.
68 to 70, which
So
was perfect.
perfect.
In a wetsuit, it was so refreshing.
It almost seemed
I wasn't
also
cold at all.
That
Like,
when we did the test swim, it seemed a lot more windy.
the
on the
test
lake.
swim was harder. The
This
test
seemed
swim
longer.
we did was the actual course was longer than the test swim we did, and I thought test swim was a bitch.
Yeah.
I was swimming into the waves 2/3 of the way. This swim was longer and easier.
But the conditions were almost perfect.
yeah,
I would say.
it was. I was so far behind though that I was catching like a lot of waves from the stupid wave runners. They were going by, and I'm like swimming over like mountain waves. Like I was sort of salty about that.
All right,
but
you're also going to get to see Mayor Tom's patented side stroke here.
If you keep it on here, you'll actually see me pee myself in the water there. This is shortly after it happened. I hit the water, and
Relieve
that's an
yourself.
old diver's trick. But there was a dude that was standing on the pier that peed himself on the pier. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be in the water when you do this. He was like, hey, I'm peeing right now.
You must be an exhibitionist.
Tomato.
That's right.
It was like, dude, you're supposed to be in the water. You don't pee yourself
Well,
outside, you nasty ass.
For the wetsuit, doesn't it just keep your pee inside with you?
It warms you up significantly.
But
That's the old diver's trick.
Yeah.
Ew.
No,
All
it
right.
does. And then it gets replaced.
That's
Let's see it.
unsanitary.
Hit play.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Come on in.
That was the start of the swim. And there they go, the blue caps. There's Aaron finishing, looking good.
Good thing that finger didn't hold him back.
Here it is. Aaron in the medical tent. Look at this thing. Now, Tom, look at this.
Affected by my time by at least 5 minutes. I lost
I
5
didn't even see the
minutes.
stupid cut.
It's
Seriously, that's like a little blister. Are we seriously looking at this?
Hey, he needs
But he
to
did
get it.
that
He was in
zipping
Boy
somebody
Scout.
up.
Dude, that's like you get more cuts than that playing a baseball game.
No, this
Hey,
is your
but
brother.
he was in Boy Scout.
Fancy, man.
Lake, or he was in Wolf Lake, so that's kind of dirty water.
And by the way,
It
Aaron,
is not
Aaron,
dirty water. First off,
Oh, with all those
start
dumpster
off.
dives.
Let's
Let me
stop
start
right
off.
there.
Let's stop right now. Like I get in the water and they didn't know I was the mayor, so we're all in there and we're waiting like 3 minutes before the heat starts.
Yep.
And then there's a guy like, I'm not getting anywhere near this water. Look at how murky it is.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, the water's fine. He's like, no, it's not. You can't even see the bottom. And I took a big gulp of it and I spit it in the air. I go, the water's perfectly fine. I promise you, I'm the mayor. I know this. And they're all like, you're the mayor? And so everybody was like making fun of me and all that. And I was sitting there doing like full gulps of water and then blowing them into the air.
I like the fact that you're like even in the water in a triathlon, you're still there supporting the city.
I'm like,
Like
don't be
defending-
talking crap about
defending
Wolf
the
Lake.
city
That's
in the water.
In the water.
Like, listen,
this guy's like,
listen,
this
MF.
water. I'm like, dude, don't even go there. Like, this water is fine. I took
You're
a
like,
big
you're calling
gulp
for
of it.
Dean. Where are those test results?
Yeah, right, dude. That's funny.
And before we go back on play, I just want to mention Aaron. We're making fun of him a little bit, but he killed the swim.
Yeah, he did.
23 minutes,
despite this
Unbelievable.
massive small cut on
Injury.
his finger, on his index finger. Surprised that didn't hold him out of the event. Actually,
He killed it.
I think we've been looking at his stupid cut way too long.
All right, hit
How
play.
are you? I was hoping somebody fixed their wetsuit.
Man, that was hard. I'm a little lightheaded, but I should be all right once I get on my bike. I got food and water. I'm
very
gonna eat
cool.
lots on my bike. So, and then
Jersey.
get ready for a
Navy
6-mile
jersey.
run.
Oh, the goose.
Man, those goos are fucking gross. Ugh.
Look at him.
baby.
Go, you got it.
What's the
Hopping on his bike.
Is it like an energy thing?
Dude,
Yeah.
what did we just see?
My mom and dad are neck and neck, right by each other. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm pushing for my mom, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, I've got a call coming in. I'll have an update in a second.
Hold on a minute, Chris.
Both of our bicyclists are out.
So there that goes to show you. I got reports after I got done with my bike ride that my mom was rooting against me, like rooting that Jana beat me. So I appreciate that.
A lot of people were rooting against you.
I think that's true. There were a lot of people hoping that I didn't
Female
do it.
empowerment, man.
I hear you.
Gotta
So
support the ladies.
So just so you know, this is the transition area right here. You can see the bikes on the racks, and Phil and Dave are waiting because we did a team thing, unlike Tom and Jana, who actually were the real triathletes. And they were just waiting for us to come in and transition over so they could run. This stuff with Phil is so great. So we're going to see a lot of Phil here.
When I got out of the water, I was like physically wiped. And then I had to get my transition bike stuff on. But like my bike jersey had 2 bananas, 2 apples, 2 goo packs. And I had a whole backpack full of water, and I had a bottle full of water. And when I got off the bike, 24 miles later, all of it was gone.
And when I
ate it all on the
actually,
bike.
so I was actually done with my ride when I saw Tom transition from bike to run. And obviously you can't help him, but we were in the same area.
Filming me, right.
Yeah, we were just in the same area. That's where my bike was and stuff. And you looked pretty good after your bike.
I was.
Yeah, you looked like you were energized. You're
So,
like, I got this. I just got to hit the bathroom real quick. And
Yeah,
off
I did
you
hit
went.
the bathroom.
Yeah, and you
real
couldn't
quick.
find your phone. That was
It's
that was
inappropriate
funny.
to pee yourself in your bike jersey. You can pee yourself in your wetsuit, but not in the bike jersey. But and I was super hydrating the whole time, so I had to pee a few times during it. But like you'll see when I got out of the water, you saw it already. I was pretty goddamn winded. I didn't even run to the transition area. I was walking.
Yep.
And then when I got off my bike, I was a totally different person. Like the bike for me is like, training for the tri, I sort of gave up on the bike. I'm like, the bike's got to be my automatic. So, and it turned out I did really well.
Yeah.
I did 16.3 miles an hour, which is pretty good average.
That's
so.
real good, especially with eating 2 bananas, 2 apples. And
I was chowing the whole time and drinking. Like I was more focused on getting refueled during the bike.
Going south, it was tough against the wind. Going north, you could really kick it. So.
Yeah, I think I topped out at 27 going north.
Wow, that's fast.
In one stretch. I got a Strava record on my first lap, Kevin.
That's great. I went faster than I'd ever gone before on that distance. I was over 18 miles an hour, so that was great.
So anyway, let's go back to the video.
And this is great stuff with Phil. This is classic.
I think Kevin had a small lead, but it was shrinking. But he was doing good. He was doing a good time for him. So we should be on our run within the next 5 minutes or so, both of us.
2 minutes, Phil. You got me by 2 minutes. That I feel good about.
You feeling good?
Dave's getting
Yep,
I can do it.
All right.
I'm just going to try and have my best race. That's all I care about. It's not about beating Dave. It's about having my best race.
It's not about beating Dave.
Here's the end.
Phil, baby! GG!
Did he beat Dave?
Good job, Phil.
That's a medic.
A medic grabbed Phil when he got back. I didn't know that. What the hell, dude? Did Phil do the whole triathlon and I didn't see it?
He said you have to come.
Hold on.
You're going to
Pause
need
it
to
real
come
quick.
with me.
So like Phil did 1/3 of what I did, and he got dragged off to the medic tent.
As soon as he finished, the medic grabbed him and said, like Aaron just said, he goes, "You need to come with me." And he took him over. This is great. It keeps going though. This is awesome. John said he thought he was filming Phil's death.
Kevin, he barely made it. He didn't even make it to that before the medic's like, thank you. Get him.
That miserable or what?
Oh, God. So,
Okay. Nice job, man.
Yeah, so
Your
there's
wham shirt.
thank you. I was trying to represent.
Oh, my God. Here.
So this is me post, and again, I only did the bike, so credit goes to Tom and Jan and all those that did everything. And so I did not cramp the whole way, but as soon as I got off my bike and over transition, and that's Dr. Ken Reed. Thank you, Dr. Reed, for giving me some really good hydration pills in the transition area that helped significantly. Both my hamstrings were cramped. I'd never had any cramping like that in my hamstrings, so it was kind of funny because then we'll see in a little minute here, Dr. Forright is going to rub me down, and Aaron's going to have some fun, live out his fantasy. So here we go. This is pretty funny.
Need some
Water?
potassium.
I had some bananas early on.
What do you say? I'm here to help the squad. I'm here to help the team. We're on-site action. I'm going to help him, lay him down, have him remove those shorts.
No, you're not.
Well, it's not actually embarrassing, but we'll move those legs up.
Have anybody have to endure that.
Well,
Take your pants
it really
off,
is
Kevin.
beneficial.
So we're about to use this twisted peppermint hand
All right, let's do a little bit.
White ass leg.
It hurts to laugh.
It did.
A little bit peppermint.
Kevin must really be hurting.
Oh, yeah,
if
shave
he's
it.
allowing this to be videotaped.
Aaron's got a banana in his shorts, and he's coming out to his
My
side.
teammate. This is my teammate.
What a teammate, right?
For each
I couldn't even
My
move.
teammate.
That's how bad it was. I was actually
Tommy,
like,
looking strong, baby.
here comes Tom transitioning off the bike.
Looking good, baby.
Yeah, Thomas.
Look how much better you look.
Thank you, too.
That was great.
Training pays off, baby.
I think I did all right on the bike.
Look at you sporting the nose shirt.
Thanks.
All right. You got this.
It's hot. It is hot. And there's really no
Hey, can we stop it real quick?
shade out there.
Oh, so Phil did beat Dave.
No,
Dave beat Phil.
Dave cut up to Phil in like
So-
the second mile.
Now, after the ride, like I said, I refilled, right? And it wasn't obviously the swim wasn't hot, obviously, because we were in the water.
Mhm.
The bike wasn't that bad because we were on a bike.
And the wind,
At
right.
20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You're going, 15, 18, 20. So you're constantly getting wind, and I was drinking the entire time and eating. That wasn't that bad at all. But I knew it was hot, but like it wasn't that bad. The death march was the run. And we had to do 3 miles, like 6 miles all the way around Wolf Lake. But in this race, they took you most of the way around, so it was like 55% of the way around, and then and then you double back 55% of the way. And the part we did was when you get over north of the Wolf Lake Bridge, there's a dead area, like dead still, no wind at all. And that, honestly, it was over.
It's along the toll road.
Yeah, it's literally
out in the
dead air.
open. There are no trees.
Dude, there's power lines going over your head, and you hear them crackling. I swear, I thought I was in a microwave. I felt like a bug in a microwave. But like, we had to do 2.5 miles in those conditions. It was the most brutal running weather.
Yeah,
I've
and you
ever-
see Dave Wesson, and Dave's a runner, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this
yeah.
guy's done, I think, 9 marathons.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and he was like, it was brutal.
bad. Like, you know what it reminds me
Brutal.
of? To give you a frame of reference, remember the 5K we did in French Lick?
Yes.
How bad that was?
Yes.
It was like 95 and humid.
Terrible.
That was very similar to what we just did.
Interesting, okay.
And this is at the end of a triathlon.
I was going to say, and you've already swam a mile and biked 23 miles.
Right. 23.
And running's probably, I mean, you've said this, right? Running's probably your weakest.
My strength was definitely going to be the bike. My second, weakest is running, and then my weakest category is swimming for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'd say you probably picked up the swim. Your run's usually slow, but I mean, you did. I mean, for the 3, I think
I've been
you actually your
training-
swim picked up.
I don't know if I picked up on my swim.
All right, well, let's see it.
I was in 40 minutes in the morning.
Look at him. There he is.
I don't feel good. Go get under that shower. Go right over there. Hey, go down. Tom.
There's a shower right there.
How you feeling?
I thought you were going to throw up.
Oh, fuck, I'm too fucking old for this, man.
Buzz.
Go back under there.
Those cold towels.
Congrats, man.
Nice job, Tom.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty amazing. Taking a moment.
Yeah,
Taking a
I was
moment.
getting all like emotional.
Kind of overcome with emotion. It'd be great.
It's the endorphins,
It'd be
dude.
good. It was a release, you know? Finally finished.
Fuck, it hurt.
You just said it hurt.
I said fucking that hurt.
Hold on. Take it under.
That hurt so bad.
I know. Get under the water.
Put a chair right under there and you can sit.
A lot of hugs. Oh, there it is. Pop in the court.
California boy right there.
What'd you say, California what?
California boy.
That's great.
I know.
Good job on the vlog, John, by Vez. Really good vlog. So,
Yeah, that was great.
First ever vlog.
Well,
I like it.
Yeah, I knew I didn't realize I cried. Like I thought I was like, when I got done, I was like, I think I cried a little bit, but I was straight up crying. Yeah.
Well, pretty emotional. I mean, for you, I know that it was you set a goal a while ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, and you reached it, and that's kind of a cool thing.
Well,
So,
because like
congrats.
honestly, for 10 years at least, maybe even longer, maybe the whole time I've been mayor, I've always been like, why don't I do Leon's? So there you go, best of episode. You know the old Hollywood saying. Is it a Hollywood saying?
Some saying.
It
It's
will
a
be.
saying. It is now. Thank you, Joe.
What?
The show must go on. And we
Queen.
could not be here today. Collectively, we had a number of obligations that precluded us having the show, and we put this best of together. So hopefully you get a little taste of LOCPOD. We'll be back on there Friday as normal. But I hope you enjoyed this best of episode. We try not to do this very often, but because of what was going on, we gave you this treat today. We got hundreds of hours of more material out there. If you miss us, don't forget to rate or subscribe, all that stuff. Got anything?
Can we? You're not saying it phonetically though, Tom. How we're titling this? It's best of question mark. You're asking best of.
I think best of is question. Best of question mark should be the title of this show.
Question mark.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
100 of hours.
Best of, is it the best? We got.
You tell us.
We got other stuff out there.
Hope you liked it.
We do. Every once in a while, we come across a pearl. You know, and a lot of times you get dirt, but every once in a while you get that real gold that
It's a
shows
lot of
up.
dirt.
Sand and grit.
A lot of dirt out there. A lot of E. coli in
Iron.
there. You shift through it, you will find some nuggets of gold. So anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. That's been a great LOCPOD episode. I'm working my butt off for you as you speak right now. You guys are listening. I'm working. Being mayor.
See you Friday.
See you Friday, everybody. Take care, and see you on Friday. Don't forget to rate and subscribe.